when the rules devised by the Knickerbocker Baseball Club of New York City appeared in December of 1856 in two periodicals with national circulations, the results were dramatic. Only a year earlier, there had been only 5 clubs nationwide that used the Knickerbocker rules, none of them outside of New York City. But soon the Knickerbocker rules were being referred to as the regulation version of baseball across the country. The spark lit by the publication of the Knickerbocker rules was sustained by the newspaper. As late as 1800, there were only 200 newspapers in the country, most of which were scarcely worthy of the name. Published by job printers accustomed to firing up the presses whenever someone offered to pay to have a document printed, would pass for news typically amounted to little more than a scattering of stale items reprinted from other sources. Editors were rare and journalistic standards non-existent. The number of newspapers increased during the early decades of the 19th century. Most of them functioned as mouthpieces for the newly emerging political parties, so neutrality and even fairness remained conspicuously absent. Progress toward impartiality was finally made in the 1830s after several New York dailies took advantage of the rapid growth of the popular market and printing press technology breakthroughs to drop their price to a penny per issue. While the trustworthiness of these newspapers was often marred by sensationalism and in some instances by blatantly fabricated stories, they started a transformation of the American newspaper. As scholar Paul Starr observed, the penny press anticipated the modern structure of media enterprise by selling their readers to advertisers as much as they sold copies to readers. Samuel Morse's 1838 invention of the telegraph placed still more emphasis on news gathering. Within a few years, American newspapers were printing sections of telegraphic news, and by 1858, the completion of a transatlantic cable had made it possible to include late-breaking European news. To one amazed journalist, these developments represented nothing less than the annihilation of space. Thanks to equally remarkable advances in transportation, it became possible to drop on the doorsteps of Americans a daily newspaper bulging with accounts of the latest happenings in faraway places. As the ability to disseminate information grew, so too did Americans' appetite for news. And by 1860, some 3,000 newspapers were competing to provide that news, making it no easy matter to track down fresh stories. Baseball came in handy in this regard because, unlike most newsworthy events, games were scheduled in advance. Just as importantly, if late-breaking news intervened, accounts of the game could easily be shortened or dropped entirely. This was a symbiotic relationship, however. While newspapers reaped the benefits of baseball's success, they amply repaid that debt by all they did to turn baseball from a child's game into an acceptable activity for adults. By sparking debates about the comparative merits of clubs from different towns, press coverage also made the previously unthinkable idea of arranging interregional competitions viable. That made it necessary to address the many rules differences, and here too reporters were able to help by fostering discussions of each version's pros and cons. Baseball's considerable momentum came to an abrupt halt when the first shots were fired at Fort Sumter. Shots fired, incidentally, by baseball's mythical inventor, Abner Doubleday. For the newspapers, however, the Civil War provided another significant boost, as Americans relied on them for updates from the battlefield. While wartime austerity was causing most industries to suffer, the New York Herald alone dispatched 63 reporters to cover the conflict. By the war's end, many newspapers had expanded from modest 4-page affairs to twice that size, creating a dire need for material that would engage peacetime readers. The stage was set for the fates of baseball and the newspaper to become even more closely intertwined. As an unprecedented rash of post-war baseball enthusiasm swept the country in 1866 and 1867, some editors became so desperate for material that they assigned an employee to play the role of scissors by cutting articles from other newspapers to fill empty space. Baseball clubs were only too happy to fill this void, and in many cases, the club secretary even provided the account, leaving the editor with little more to do than find room for the latest news about the home team. The arrangement seemed too good to be true, and indeed, it soon became clear that this solution left much to be desired. Most obviously, the reliability and objectivity of the club secretary was by no means a certainty. Many editors found that the only thing they could depend on was receiving lengthy, exultant accounts after victories and stony silence following defeats. An additional problem was that once a newspaper began publishing accounts of the doings of one local baseball club, every team in town was liable to demand similar consideration, no matter how inexperienced or young their players. The situation was humorously summed up in this note that appeared in a Chicago newspaper in 1870. It became customary last season to publish the scores of games played between the less-known clubs of this city, clubs with barbaric, comic, stupid, or over-ridiculous names, and whose scorers did write most villainously and spelt at random. A report of one of these games would be left at the office, stating that the Young Americas had beaten the Hopefuls by a gigantic score. The next day, the captain of the Hopefuls, aged 4 to 9, after climbing our 80 stairs with great difficulty, would appear panting and claim that his organization had the great score and the others the small one. He would frequently argue for half an hour as to the vital importance of a correction and would denounce the unscrupulous mendacity of the Young Americas. Repressing a strong inclination to give him 5 cents to buy marbles with, we promised to correct, and he went downstairs exultant. Before the war, baseball games had been accompanied by a number of ceremonial features. At the conclusion of the match, for example, both clubs typically joined in cheers for one another and for the umpire. Such neat ritual touches did much to make baseball seem newsworthy. Following the war, however, an increased emphasis on winning caused many of these ceremonies to give way to tedious disputes, and editors saw less reason for coverage. By the end of the 1860s, some newspapers had begun charging ball clubs to publish accounts of their games and meetings, while many ball players had become convinced that they had no need of the press. One Chicago player bluntly informed a dumbfounded reporter that there are thousands of people who buy the papers simply for the reports of the games, and who would not otherwise think of looking at a newspaper. In light of the deteriorating relationship between baseball and the press, many editors must have longed to drop coverage of the sport altogether. They had much to lose by doing so. The staff of the New York Herald learned that lesson the hard way when Bob Ferguson, captain of the Atlantic Club of Brooklyn, threatened to knock every tooth out of the head of a Herald reporter who questioned him. The newspaper retaliated by dramatically reducing its coverage of the Atlantics. But in June of 1870, when Ferguson's team staged the historic upset that ended the 2-year unbeaten run of the Red Stockings of Cincinnati, the Herald lost out on a great story. So most editors bit the bullet and assigned coverage of important games to one of their reporters. As it became common for experienced journalists to spend much of an afternoon watching a ball game instead of covering graver matters, it raised a new dilemma. What should appear in an account of a baseball game? Nowadays, that question may not seem like a perplexing one, but the answer was far from obvious a century and a half ago. Reporters had limited precedent to lean upon when covering American sports, and what little there was proved to be ill-suited for baseball. Sports like boxing and horse racing featured rapid-fire action that usually culminated in a dramatic finish, which meant that even a bland chronicle of events could capture some of the excitement. But in baseball, more than 50 at-bats occurred in every game, and any one of them might prove decisive, or there might be little drama, an unpredictability that provided no obvious way to proceed. In baseball's early years, most reporters opted for one of two techniques. The first was to devote little space to the game action, instead describing the crowd and the weather, identifying the umpire, and recording noteworthy features such as pregame and postgame festivities and the transportation methods used by spectators. The other common method was to report the result of each at-bat sequentially, which consumed so much space that it left little room for commentary. Needless to say, neither type of account made for compelling reading, so reporters soon began to experiment. The introduction of the box score offered a partial solution, since these handy encapsulations of each player's contributions eliminated the need to summarize every at-bat, freeing up room for additional details. Finding an effective way to use that space, however, proved to be far from easy because of some imposing technical challenges. For one thing, a significant number of the readers of a game account already knew the final score, and once box scores were at hand, it was far from clear what more the account ought to tell them. That challenge was exacerbated by the knowledge that some readers had attended the game in question, meaning that they were also familiar with all of the particulars. To solve this dilemma, many reporters attempted to provide insight into why one team won, but these efforts also proved problematic. Since the game was new to most of them, their commentary typically attributed success to traits like training, discipline, and teamwork. Unfortunately, such explanations imply that all baseball skills could be mastered by anyone willing to try hard enough to do so, rather than being the result of innate ability, thereby creating unrealistic expectations of rapid improvement. When that improvement failed to materialize, those reporters were placed in a still more difficult position. Instead of acting as job printers who gladly typeset any document a paying customer asked them to produce, American newspaper publishers began to rely upon readers and advertisers for revenue, giving reporters more autonomy. Nonetheless, they had to be very cautious about directing criticism at a local institution or a hometown hero. This reality led to some pretty far-fetched excuses for the defeat of the home team. In one extreme example, a reporter wrote that the local club's 81-2 defeat was one of the worst beats on record, but not the worstest. We read within a week a game in which the score stood 55-1, which is slightly better than 81-2. Other accounts shifted the blame for every defeat to the umpire, but rationalizations of this type soon grew stale. And yet, such excuses still surface even to this day. With their efforts to analyze the reasons for victories and defeats so likely to have unintended consequences, many reporters backed off from this pursuit and instead cited a mysterious phenomenon known as the glorious uncertainty of baseball. Baseball is very uncertain, wrote a Buffalo reporter who covered the local Niagara club. He explained, last Saturday, the Niagara club went to Rochester and were beaten by the Alerts by the decisive score of 30-13. All who witnessed the game united in the opinion that the Rochesterians outbatted and outfielded the Buffalonians. The fair inference would be that the Alerts were much the superior club. Yesterday, the return game was played here, and the boot was on the other leg. Judging from that game alone, the inference would be equally fair that the Niagaras can lay out the Alerts any day in the week, from which premises we can reiterate our original proposition that baseball is very uncertain. Despite such artful efforts to dance around it, there was still no resolution to the underlying question of how to craft a game account so that even those who had attended that game would find it worth reading. It was becoming clear that the writing skills and attention to detail that held a reporter in good stead while covering most news stories were insufficient for covering a baseball game. Henry Chadwick, however, lost no sleep over this dilemma. A native of Exeter, England, Chadwick was 12 when his family moved to Brooklyn, where he completed his schooling and then began writing about cricket for various local papers. By his own account, he happened to be passing through the Elysian Fields in 1856 when he stopped to watch a baseball game in progress and was struck with the idea that baseball was just the game for a national sport for America. From that period, I became an ardent admirer of baseball, and I have devoted my efforts to the improvement of the game and to fostering it in every way I thought likely to promote the object I had in view, which was to build up a national game for Americans, such as cricket was for England. For more than half a century, Chadwick single-mindedly pursued that vision of building up the game by tirelessly crusading against the players he believed were trying to tear baseball down by gambling, drinking, or violating their contracts. He was just as persistent about describing the action on the field in terms of moral absolutes. While his fellow reporters were beginning to suspect that admirable character traits might not have all that much to do with winning baseball games, and were hedging their bets by referring to the game's glorious uncertainty, Chadwick never wavered in his efforts to build up baseball by depicting success on the diamond as being the result of moral qualifications such as self-control, quickness of observation, good judgment, determination of character, a manly love of fair play, and gentlemanly deportment. Chadwick was just as unshakable in his ideas for improving the game's rules and strategies to create what he termed scientific baseball, a philosophy embraced by baseball managers and players from the 1860s through the first few decades of the 20th century. Lacking any meaningful playing experience, the curious notions that he espoused included the conviction that running out an inside-the-park home run was so fatiguing that the player was rendered ineffective for the rest of the game. Nevertheless, he stubbornly insisted that all of his views were offered with a view to giving our baseball readers a proper view of the matter and to bring about a more attractive form of play, while those who disagreed were dismissed as entirely ignorant of the true position. Quirks notwithstanding, Henry Chadwick is a monumental figure in early baseball who has the deserved honor of being the only writer commemorated with a plaque in the gallery of the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, alongside the game's greatest players, managers, umpires, and executives. Too often, however, the magnitude of his accomplishments has overshadowed the contributions of hundreds of other 19th century baseball reporters. What makes that particularly regrettable is that it has obscured the development of the game account. Chadwick's long tenure and breadth of knowledge made him well suited to the important task of situating recent baseball events within a larger context. Yet that aim of building up the game was ill-suited to writing game accounts. And during the 1870s, Chadwick increasingly left that task to others, especially after becoming editor of the Spalding Guide. In effect, during that crucial decade, baseball's reportage began to split into two distinct streams. Writers like Chadwick used a wide lens to provide greater perspective, setting the stage for the sports columnist to emerge. Meanwhile, others were doing the underappreciated work of refining the much narrower lens of the game account. Of course, no simple formula has ever existed for writing an account of a baseball game, but a couple of trends are discernible in the experimentation of the final 3 decades of the 19th century and the early years of the 20th century. One was that reporters began plucking one pivotal moment or a single key theme from the wealth of details. Once that crucial play or theme had been identified, the flow of the game often determined which other events to mention and how to organize them. Some writers even began using what eventually became the dominant format, in which an opening sentence or paragraph grabbed the reader's attention and introduced a central idea, with the rest of the events summarized in roughly chronological order, either backward or forward. The second key development was a shift away from trying to explain why one team had won. Such efforts by no means disappeared, but when they did appear, they were more likely to take the form of the description of a key event rather than an analysis of why it happened. When larger newspapers began sending more than one reporter to cover a game, the potentially controversial tasks of determining cause and effect and criticizing specific players were often left entirely to the newspaper's columnists. In effect, facts started to become the essence of the game account that was written by a beat reporter, with opinions the domain of the columnist. When stated boldly, that distinction makes the game account sound dry as dust, and if space was limited, that was often the case. Once this basic narrative format was in place, however, beat reporters found it possible to expand and modify it in a myriad of ways in order to add color and piquant details. Freed of the burden of reaching a verdict about the reasons for victory or defeat, reporters could instead draw attention to nice points of play, relate humorous or telling anecdotes, note statistical achievements that were beyond the scope of the box score, coin apt nicknames for the players or teams, and offer the inside information that became known as dope, a term used in the world of baseball well into the 20th century. Access to the locker room for post-game interviews was not yet common, but sometimes a comment from a participant, or at least slang terms gleaned from the players, could be worked in. Meanwhile, new developments kept cropping up that necessitated adjustments to newspaper coverage of baseball. As the technology associated with the telegraph continued to improve, for example, it became common for telegraph operators to transmit line scores from the ballpark itself, increasing the likelihood that readers would know the outcome before reading the next day's paper. The sporting press also came into its own during these years, so the daily newspaper also had to compete with weeklies such as Sporting Life and the Sporting News. These new competitors made it incumbent on sports writers to use inside information provided by players and owners, but both groups were still apt to become uncommunicative during a losing streak. The mounting labor strife of the 1880s gave these crucial sources all the more reason to be tight-lipped. Matters hit rock bottom in 1890 when reporters were caught in the middle of the war between the Players' League and the established leagues, a conflict that we explore further in another class. Both sides suddenly became eager to talk to reporters, but according to Chicago owner Albert Goodwill Spaulding, neither of them ever furnished to the press one solitary, truthful statement. A lot of the sports writer was eased somewhat when the Players' League folded after that season, but ongoing tensions between players and owners still made it difficult to simultaneously maintain good working relationships with both groups. Another significant consequence of the Players' League war was that, for the first time, major league teams began to assign employees to send out press releases. This proved to be a mixed blessing for reporters, however. While the ready availability of material was a godsend when a deadline loomed, press releases were, of course, created with the aim of casting the team in a favorable light, so reliance upon them compromised journalistic independence. Through all these challenges, reporters fought hard to preserve their objectivity, and they did much to keep the game going at a time when its future was in jeopardy. Sports writer Hugh Fullerton later maintained that baseball owed its popularity and probably its continued existence to earlier generations of scribes who gave their talents and the newspaper space of their bosses to popularize the game and its players. As Fullerton's comments suggest, the many trials and tribulations of the 1890s yielded an enduring camaraderie among the beat reporters. The press boxes provided for them were frequently so inadequate as to prompt complaints that the most splendid arrangements are made for everybody except the reporters of the press. But those cramped quarters did enable writers from rival newspapers to toss around ideas and exchange wisecracks that might find their way into the copy they submitted. The sense of fraternity that resulted made possible the creation in 1908 of the Baseball Writers Association of America, the BBWAA, which pursued such goals as uniformity in the interpretation of scoring rules and stricter rules for admission to the press box. By then, there were telltale signs that the printed word's half-century-long dominance of the American media was drawing to a close. Much of the technology behind photography had emerged by the mid-19th century, so the earliest baseball images date to the late 1850s. Yet neither the early daguerreotypes nor color of any kind could be readily integrated into the printing press, so the appearance of newspapers remained drab and utilitarian. By century's end, however, new breakthroughs enabled newspapers to provide much more visual stimulation, while motion picture technology had come far enough for Thomas Edison to shoot a short baseball film in 1898. Advances came pell-mell after the turn of the century, and within 2 decades, Americans were becoming accustomed to seeing images of events from distant places. Baseball actively partook in both trends, with field-level photographers becoming a common sight during Major League games and baseball-themed newsreels and movies starting to proliferate. But just when the visual arts seemed poised to eclipse the written word, another communications revolution took place. With the introduction of radio and talking motion pictures in short order, the spoken word once again assumed a prominent role in how Americans learned about distant goings-on. By the 1930s, as historian Warren Sussman observed, a shift to a culture of sight and sound, of profound importance, had taken place, and the written word would never again stand alone in American media and culture. Of course, print remains a major force to this day, and there has always been a particularly close affinity between baseball and the written word. Accordingly, the same years that saw the visual arts assume a major role in the national pastime also witnessed an outpouring of baseball books of all sorts, including how-to manuals, novels, histories, children's tales, and the ever-popular annual guides. The newspaper, too, retained a vibrant role in American life, with turning to the sports section a fixture of the daily routine of millions of readers. Reflecting that vitality, the early 20th century newspapers' baseball columns and game accounts continued to be augmented by the addition of new features, including photos and diagrams, expanded statistical coverage, and guest columns at World Series time that bore the byline of a famous player, although more often than not, these latter pieces were ghostwritten. Post-game access to the dressing room also started to become common, making it easier for reporters to enliven their accounts with comments from the players, though that opportunity brought increased deadline pressure and the new threat of players claiming to have been misquoted. Light verse also came to play a prominent role on the baseball page, with the likes of Ring Lardner, Grantland Rice, and John Kieran contributing whimsical rhymes about the national pastime. The most enduring such poem, however, was written by Franklin P. Adams and first published in the New York Evening Mail on July 12, 1910, under the title That Double Play Again, only to be later renamed Baseball's Sad Lexicon. Neither of those titles rings a bell with most baseball fans, but they're much more likely to recognize its opening lines. These are the saddest of possible words. Tinker to Evers to Chance. A final development of great significance from these years was the rapid growth of African-American press in the northern cities, to which the African-American population was relocating. Coverage of the great African-American baseball teams of the age became a mainstay of these newspapers, mirroring the events that occurred more than 50 years earlier when baseball first emerged as an adult pastime. Once again, the reporters who provided that coverage often found themselves torn between providing impartial accounts and trying to build up those teams and players. In the end, however, a symbiotic relationship once again developed, in which both baseball and the newspaper were able to achieve greater heights than either could have done on its own.
All right, this is Donald Blomdahl, Hall of Fame veteran, sports cards and collectibles. Oh boy, hold on. Let me fix that. Oh boy, hold on. Let me fix that. Oh boy. There we go. I think I got it good to go now. All right. Hopefully you all have a great Thursday gone on in your neighborhood today. Hopefully everything is fine. All right, I think I got that all adjusted. I forgot to do that before we went live. That's my fault for not taking care of that beforehand. But other than that, hopefully you're ready for part 2 and then part 3 of today's stream. All right. Next week, of course, Christmas Eve, we will have lecture number 15. Lecture number 15 in this series. And lecture number 15 will be Baseball Becomes a Game of Numbers. Give you a little sneak peek on the title for the next week's lesson for play ball. All right. So first order of business I do have to take care of real quick is the free entries for the December drawing. Cards in My Car with Art Posada has 4. Bibby Bobca has 1. And FJ DeKong chimes in with 6 free entries for this morning's live stream. Santa Cam is broken. Oh my word. I better get on the phone and contact Santa real quick here. Let me get on the phone here and contact Santa real quick. Tell him he forgot to turn his device on to keep an eye on the channel to find out who's naughty or nice and all that kind of good stuff. My word, how'd that happen? Okay. There we go. Got it fixed there, John. Didn't want you to feel left out here. Let me get the camera adjusted here. All right. Let me reposition this here. Oh, let me see. I better have my bell right on the edge here so that Santa Cam knows that I still have that here. Okay. Let me adjust my Santa Cam, my bell ringer for some hits if we get some good hits here. But first order of business here, I got to get my entries in here. So let me get my entries in for today's free entries for the first. When you make it first in the live chat, that's how you get your bonus free entries. The first minute in the live stream, that's what we do there. So let me get okay, let me get that taken care of quick while you guys are catching up. The Santa Cam is broken. Donald is sending 91 flair to all the bad kids. Or Matt Noakes cards. I think I eat too much cake. My stomach, ouch. Don't eat so much cake there, FJ. You're not on Christmas break yet. You got to stay healthy until school's done. Is tomorrow your last day of school, but it's kind of like a fun kind of day? Are you guys doing anything special for that? Let me get right? And then let me get one more here for cards. All right. Then let me get Bibby Bobca in here. And next we got to do FJ. FJ the King gets 6 new entries. All right. Come on, adjust there. There we go. Let me make sure. All right. Got all the new entries in here. Let me save this file. Then we will get ready, and I'll tell you what we're going to do next for the rest of this stream for today. All right. Got the December Wheel of Names wheel updated. And what are we? Today's what? The 17th? Oh, my word. That means tomorrow's my wife's birthday. Tomorrow is my wife's birthday. So I have to make sure I take care of that tomorrow. Actually, I've got it already taken care of, so all ready for her birthday. And since we can't eat in the restaurants here, my daughter, when she gets off work near Seattle, is going to go down to the #1 Filipino restaurant in the state of Washington, and she's going to bring home dinner for my wife. So that'll be cool. Donald surprises her with Kyle Lewis rookie cards. Actually, no, I'm not. I wouldn't surprise her with baseball rookie cards, but I do have 2 autograph Kyle Lewis rookie cards that I should get in the mail today. So I will probably highlight those for sure. Lordy, Lordy, look who is 40, Cynthia. That would be nice. But all right, so we're good to go here. As you can see, I haven't figured out quite where to put Cal Ripken Jr.'s card there. Let me there, I'll hold this a little bit that way. I don't know if there we go. It'll stay there a little bit, but this is the best I could do. So this is my card. This is my ball, of course, I got from Ethan yesterday, the Iron Man ball. There we got Lou Gehrig on this side. This side here says on September 6, 1995, Cal Ripken Jr. and Lou Gehrig were forever linked together in history. The 56-year-old record of 2,130 consecutive games was broken, and Cal joins Lou as fellow Ironman of baseball. And then Cal Ripken Jr., of course, nothing on the bottom there, but on the top is a facsimile of Cal Ripken Jr.'s autograph and Lou Gehrig's autograph. So that is my Cal Ripken Jr. and Lou Gehrig baseball that Ethan, Elvis Covers and More, gave me yesterday. I thought maybe this stand might fit inside there, but it didn't. And plus, if it did, I think I wouldn't be able to close the lid. So I'll keep it in there because that keeps all the dust and all the grime and everything off of there. And then all you got to do is dust off the plastic casing. But I will keep the stand for once in a while when I do pull it out, like probably if I do some Cal Ripken Jr. specials in the not so distant future. Will most likely be next year, of course. So that is that right there until I can find a better home for it. Of course, I got my Randy Johnson ball there. I've got the Commissioner of Baseballs right underneath of Randy Johnson there. I got the 2019 Seattle Mariners down here. And underneath down here, I've got a Dearman 2019. I think it was 2019, or was it this last year? But I got a Dearman signed ball down there. So I thought that was cute that he sent that to me. So that's part of my baseball collection for sure. All right. What is that one? I'm trying to remember I think that's a Primant. I haven't seen Primant for a while. I know he's down in the southeast of the United States. Laura, let's see. Happy birthday to her. Nothing says love like a 92 flare. I am hoping the package is coming today. Everything has been very slow in the mail. Okay, so you didn't get it yet there, FJ? It should hopefully show up soon. I put a silica pack in ball cases to keep them moisture free. In ball cases to keep them moisture free. Oh, okay, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I should keep some of those that come out of like vitamin bottles and things like that. I could use those and put those in with the baseballs. But I think for the most part, I'll probably be fine. Hopefully. Okay, it's out for delivery then, huh? Well, that is very good there, FJ. So without further ado, we will move into part 2. Let me get my other computer so I can see what's being shown. And we should not have any problems today. We should not have any problems. I am on my YouTube live app, so I know everything is fine because I can add my special effects if I want to. I could make it pop. I could make it pop a little bit if I want to. But without further ado, yes, I have to go back to class. Bye. Have a good day, everyone. All right, FJ. If we don't see you before the stream ends, we know that you will be around and about when you can. All right. And I know probably for the next 2 weeks, you'll probably be on when I'm live. You'll probably be able to hang out for the whole show. Okay. So, of course, tomorrow we'll have a Fairfield Friday along with Bibby Bobcas. And I might have at least one, maybe 2 packages to share also for some other family mail call. But, of course, we will start off here with Bibby Bobca's part 3 of 12 when we get started here. Okay? And then after that, we'll open up this blaster box, or this hanger pack, I mean, and the fat pack here. The fat pack has 34 cards, and the hanger pack has 67 cards. So we'll get 101 cards here to see if I can get my 5 missing cards that I need for, I think it's 5. Let me double check here real quick. I think that's what yeah. 4 cards, I think. Hold on a second. I gotta move this out of the way real quick. Run out of space here. 4. That's right. I found one the other day, so I only need 4 more to complete another project I'm working on out of the update. That way I will have hopefully another 2020 baseball update series complete set for somebody down the road. Lefty Luke's channel. Hey, down here, Lefty Luke. I haven't seen you in like forever. Are you on Christmas break yet? Or is this at the end of this week, is this when you end too there, Lefty? Just kind of curious. But thanks for popping into the channel. Have not seen you in a while. Hopefully you'll start coming back into the stream when you can. Maybe over Christmas break or something. If you have time. I will be having my next sale on the 2nd of January. Not yet. Week. Not yet. Week. Then about half of next week. Oh, this week and half of next week. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I think I understand what you're trying to say there. All right. But we will go into Bibby Bobca's part 3 of our stream today and get into these. And then after this, we will open up the update series here. We'll open up the update series. Let me get a couple of stands out here real quick, just in case we get something good out of here, or the boxes when we get.
Could you try again?
I wasn't talking to you, Siri. Don't you love cell phones when they do that? Okay. Sorry about that. Lock that back up. Maybe it will go back to normal on me. Sorry, I didn't get that. That's the problem when you have two phones in the same room. They try and talk to each other. But let's go ahead and get into these two packages from Bibby. Again, this is part 3 of 12. We will probably be opening this till the end of the month, that's for sure. As we continue to move through his stuff that he sent me. We will see what's in here. Oh, I like what I see on the top of this one. It's Cal Ripken Jr. Cal Ripken Jr. That's a bell ringer right away for me. Cal Ripken Jr. Sweetness. Baltimore Donruss Classics 2001. Cal Ripken Jr. All right, here we go. Action packed. I've got some of these. I opened up a couple of packs of some of these back in the day, but action packed. Gene Woodley, Pedro Martinez. Oh, let me set my Cal Ripken aside whenever I get them. And then Pedro Martinez, Fleer Gamers with the Boston Red Sox. Pedro Martinez, Roy Halladay, Topstown.com. That's an odd. Okay, yeah, this is one where you could redeem the code, but I think the code expires January 31st, 2012. So we can't use that redemption. Evan Longoria says, Josh Beckett says, those are kind of cool cards. What is this from? 2009. 2009. Upper Deck Products. Then we got another Pedro Martinez with Boston. Another Pedro Martinez. Roy Halladay. Some of the newer Hall of Famers here. I don't have many of these. I guess Bibby's helping me fill the gap here on my newer Hall of Famers that I don't have many cards on. Appreciate that, Bibby. Gotta go. I'll be hopping in the streams on Christmas break. Have a good one, everyone. All right, Lefty Luke, you take care and do good in your studies, okay? Put school first and foremost, especially in the day we live in. You need to be able to get that good education for sure. So another Pedro Martinez, Roy Halladay, Jose Canseco Gold Cup, and then another Jose Canseco, and another Jose Canseco. Uh-oh, we're going on a Jose Canseco run here. Another Jose Canseco. Boom, there we go, another Cal Ripken Jr. This is for the All-Star game. I think this is one of the few times they did the All-Star game in Seattle. If I remember right. I think they did this All-Star game in Seattle. That's for my Cal Ripken Jr. Donald, they are always listening. Don't trust them. I use a flip phone. All right. Thanks, John. That's cute. Yeah, it does not surprise me. They're always listening in the background. That's for sure. Okay, let me refresh the chat so I know where I left off. All right. So another Roy Halladay. Who is this? Oh, Tony La Russa. There we go. Tony La Russa. Barry Larkin. That's a cool Barry Larkin card. Awesome. Rafael Palmeiro. Will Clark with the Orioles. Gary Sheffield with the Atlanta Nationals. That's an interesting card. All right. Geo Graham. Jimmy Fox. There we go. 50 years of baseball. 500 home run club. Inducted in 1951. Then we got Wallace here. Roderick Wallace. Melot with the Giants. There we go. A record breaker archives from 2000. Is that 2001? Or is this a reclaim card? Probably a reclaim card, right? With the 2001 stamp on it. Adrian Beltre. Harold Chase. Pedro Martinez again. There we go. Felix Hernandez. With a holiday on the card. Excuse me. I'm going to take a sip of water in a second here. Finish this bundle. Another Roy Halladay signature stars. Ryan Sandberg, the Rhino. You got Rhino. Boom, boom, boom. And last card in this stack, Ryan Sandberg, Chicago Cub Greats. Awesome. This one is a 2004 Fleer. All right. Let me get a sip of water here. Get into the next pack in just a second here. All right. Well, thank you there, Bibby, for those. Kind of like a somewhat of a, there's a few Sandbergs again, Roy Halladay, Pedro Martinez's, and a few miscellaneous ones. Always like these. I'll put these in my separation and go through and pull out the definite Hall of Famers. And we will go from there on that. Moving on to 2B for part 3 of 12. All right. All right. I got one last round of Christmas cards to get finished off today. There we go. This one's empty now. Let's see what we've got in this bundle here from Bibby. Yeah, sorting time. Thanks, Bibby. No, I appreciate this very much. This is going to vastly enhance my my Hall of Fame collection, that's for sure. And then, of course, once I get them sorted by player, then I have to sort the cards to see which ones I have duplicates of that I can move on and give and share the love in the channel. So there we go. We got a Roy Halladay there with the Blue Jays. We got a Chasing Donnie baseball. Looks like a fourth year card. Boom. A Fairfield Thursday for a Cal Ripken Jr. All-Star card from 1987. So those can go. Whoop. Oh my word! I dropped Cal. Let me get him in the stack here with his other cards. Usually it's a double bell ringer, but since it was a double, not a double, but a double, Fairfield double. So here we go. Some more Pedro Martinez. Looks like this one is, oh, boom, there we go. Tony Gwynn with the Padres. Don Mattingly, Chasing Donnie baseball. Then we've got a Johnson, Wainwright, and Halladay card. Or Halladay. Tony Gwynn with the Padres. Then we've got some 2011 Goodwin Champions Upper Deck for Addie Joss. All right, Hugh Jennings, Willie Keeler, King Kelly, Nolan Ryan. There we go. Nolan Ryan as a Cowboy. There we go. Bob Gibson. Jose Canseco. Look at those arms. I'm sure this was his juicing era. Jim Rice. Whitey Ford. Lou Brock. Left fielder. Bo Jackson. Bo Nose. Then we got a Ryan Sandberg, 94 Fleer Ultra. Then we got a Pedro Martinez, 97 Fleer. Another Pedro Martinez Fleer from, let's see, this one is 2002. Oh my word, look at that. Vladimir Guerrero. Duplicate finding. This is the second one. There we go. Cal Ripken Jr. and Vladimir Guerrero. Then we got a Tony Gwynn, an Adrian Beltre, another Holiday, Topps Turkey Red from, can't even see that small one. I want to say 2006. Then a Pedro Martinez from the Montreal Expos, which are now the Washington Nationals. All right, that's a thick card there on that one. Portraits card, playoff portraits card. Then a Goudet, Roy Halladay with the Blue Jays. Another Goudet, Felix Hernandez with the Seattle Mariners. All right, and then Ryan Sandberg. And another Ryan Sandberg. Another Pedro Martinez, Roy Halladay, Pedro Martinez, Vladimir Guerrero with the California Angels. Boom. Duplicate. A lot of duplicates in here. Wait until Kevin sees this replay and he'll see all the duplications. Get it? The duplications. There we go. Like that Seattle Mariners Felix Hernandez. I don't know if I've got that one in my Felix collection. But awesome, awesome, awesome cards there. That gives me more items to sort into my Hall of Fame sorting. But I'm just putting these all in boxes for now. So when I have time, when I'm not so busy creating content for my channel and having a little bit of fun all around, let me put Cal Ripken's in the back here. That'll go in my Cal Ripken sort. This will go in my Seattle Mariners sort. And Felix Hernandez holdout. But thanks, Bibby. Appreciate that. Now, without further ado, let's see. I think we've got, let me check the chat, make sure I'm all up to date. I think we're up to date there. Looks like we're almost at the hour mark here, which is fine. That's why I'm going to start, probably during Christmas here at least, doing my lives at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. And just to give you a heads up, next Friday for Christmas, I most likely will not do a live stream unless it's in the evening sometime. But we'll see. We'll kind of play it by ear for next Friday as far as what we will do then, okay? But that's pretty much what I think I'm looking at there, okay? So, oh, no problem there, Bibby. Appreciate the opportunity to share these on the channel and go through. So we're going to start off with the Fat Pack first. And then we'll get into the Bryce Harper hanger box. How's that sound? I'm going to put, I think I'll get one more stand out just to be safe and separate my insert cards. See if we get a hit here or anything on that line. So without further ado, we're going to open up this Fat Pack first and see what we get in here. Again, I picked these up at Target last week. Been aching to just dive into them pretty much, but wanted to do them on the channel for sure. So that's what we'll do here. We'll throw that away there. We've got this guy here, security tag. Don't have no use for that. That can go in the recycle bin. And let's kind of go through here. Move the back and the front. That way all our inserts should be at the back of the run here. All right, so we got Eric Mejia with the Royals rookie card. We got Alex Blandino with the Cincinnati Reds. Then we've got Mike King with the New York Yankees rookie card. We got Dustin Garneau with the Houston Astros. And we got thummies up for me. Almost getting to double digits here. We got 6 watching and 9 thumbs up. All right. Let me turn this one is upside down. Yordan Alvarez. There we go. Gold Cup card, rookie debut card, all wrapped up into one for the Yordan Alvarez. Let me get that one in a penny sleeve for now for sure. For the Yordan Alvarez rookie card, Gold Cup card, and rookie debut all wrapped up into one card. All right, Rich Hill with the Minnesota Twins, Eric Davis with the Cincinnati Reds, a home run derby from 1989. Then we got a Joe Kelly with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Then we've got a sorry, some upside down cards here. Javier Baez with the Chicago Cubs All-Star game from 2000. I think it's 2018. Yep, 2018. Then we got a Mike Montgomery with the Kansas City Royals. Then we got a Trace Thompson with the Arizona Diamondbacks. And then we got a Lane Thomas with the St. Louis Cardinals. Freeway Victory. Brightest Stars Enjoy a Victory. Looks like we got Trout and don't know for sure who else that is there. Justin Upton. All right. David Price with the Dodgers. Greg Garcia with the Padres. Taylor Ward with the Angels. Donovan Solano with the Giants. Robinson Cano with the New York Mets active leaders. Then we've got a Kirk Casilla with the Cincinnati Reds. We've got the Jesus Luzardo. Jesus Luzardo, rookie card, rookie debut card for the Oakland Athletics. Boom! Got me another Kyle Lewis here. Let me get this in a top loader here real quick. Nothing super duper special about this one, but it is a Kyle Lewis. So we will put him into a top loader here. And put him in my Kyle Lewis collection. My box is ever growing with my Kyle Lewises. One of these days I'll get them up and running here. But Johnny Davis with the Tampa Bay Rays rookie card. Jacob deGrom, New York Mets All-Star Game from 2015. I almost said 16, but I had to verify it. They print it so teeny tiny down there. Polar Bear and Squirrel. Nicknamed stars celebrate for the New York Mets. Yohan Lopez with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Then we got a Bartola Colon, free agent. Free agent was with the New York Mets. In the card there, Domingo Santana with the Cleveland Indians. Then we got a Sam Travis with the Texas Rangers. Again, they put in their inaugural season there in their new stadium. What a bummer for that celebration, huh? I guess when they finally do open up, it'll be like the inaugural season all over again with the fans when they get to come in, right? Bryce Harper, Washington Nationals, 2018 Home Run Derby. All right, boom, there we go. A rainbow foil for Clayton Kershaw for the 2011 All-Star Game. Nolan Jones, number 1 prospect for the Cleveland Indians. Then we've got a 2000s Arizona Diamondbacks Decade's Best card. Awesome. Shout out to Kevin's Card Collecting and more there. Then we got a Mookie Betts with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and a Larry Walker Hall of Famer for the Colorado Rockies. Awesome there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let me put those there. All right, so that it was what we found in the hanger box, or the fat pack, I mean. Hanger box is coming up next. All right, so we got the Yordan Alvarez rookie debut, rookie card, and Gold Cup card all wrapped up into one. The Kyle Lewis rookie card and rookie debut card. And then the Clayton Kershaw rainbow foil, the #1 prospect for the Indians, Nolan Jones, the 2000 Decades Best for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and then the Larry Walker and the Mookie Betts Turkey Red cards. All right. Oh no, Santa Claus is coming. Must be time to open up the hanger box. All right, let me put this here off to the side. Get the bottom open like most people do on this product. There we go. You can open this and then just slide it right out the bottom here. All right. Let's see, do we have a thick? I don't see a thick card in here, so you never know. All right. But a lot of times you get one chrome card in here or something like that, along those lines. Let me put this in the back here. Put you in the back there, Bryce Harper. We'll let you overlook the cards as we get ready to open up this hanger box here with 67 cards. Again, I'll try and bust it up and put all the hits on the bottom. So we'll look at those last. So I'll do the bottom. The bottom first, and then we'll go through the second half after we go through the first half. Okay. So here we go. Cy Sneed with the Houston Astros rookie card. Jose Peraza with the Boston Red Sox. Danielle Hudson with the Washington Nationals. Cole Calhoun with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Boom, T1 Walkers with the Seattle Mariners. All right, first one of the few times I could shout out my Seattle Mariners here today. Joey Votto with the Cincinnati Reds. Active Leaders card. Boom, there we go. That's a pretty sharp looking card. I guess it's not a short print though. Let me just double check the number on the back here. Usually they have them backwards. Nope, 588. That's the base card. Unless it has a variation on the front, like a color or something like that. But Jason Castro with the Angels. Zach Davies with the Padres. Albert Pujols with the Angels. Active Leaders card. Adam Plutko with the Cleveland Indians. Miguel Cabrera with the Detroit Tigers, active leader card. Yasmani Grandal with the White Sox. Nick Dini with the Royals, rookie card. Greg Holland with the Kansas City Royals. Mariano Rivera with the New York Yankees, All-Star Game from 2013. Omar Narvaez with the Milwaukee Brewers. Giancarlo Stanton with the Miami Marlins. Jake Marcinek with the New York Mets. Tino Martinez, 1997 Home Run Derby for the New York Yankees with a red jersey. That's kind of odd color, but I guess it was probably the jersey they wore for the All-Star Game. Junior Guerrera with the Arizona Diamondbacks. David Ortiz, Big Papi, with the Boston Red Sox All-Star Game from 2004. Jed Gjorko with the Milwaukee Brewers. Felix Hernandez. I noticed in the update they put him back in because it's from it's from the 2014 All-Star game. And, of course, he was with the Mariners then anyway. Tyler Wade with the New York Yankees. Jonas Cespedes with the Oakland Athletics. 2014 Home Run Derby. Christian Arroyo with the Cleveland Indians. Trent Grisham with the San Diego Padres rookie card. Josh Fagley with the Chicago Cubs. David McKay with the Detroit Tigers. And Richard Bleer with the Baltimore Orioles. Rounds up our first half. All right, let's see what we get next here in the second half of this hanger box. All right, so we've got Todd Frazier with the Texas Rangers inaugural season. Okay, sorry. Adolis Garcia with the Rangers. Logan Morrison with the Brewers. Kyle Gibson with the Rangers inaugural season card. Robinson Chirinos with the Rangers. Drew Butera with the Rockies. Antonio Senzatella with the Rockies. Chris Owings with the Rockies. Richie Martin with the Orioles. Then we've got Jacob deGrom with the New York Mets. 2015 All-Star Game. Okay. Polar Bear and Squirrel again. Nickname Stars Celebrate. Yohan Lopez with the Diamondbacks. Aaron Judge with the New York Yankees for the 2017 All-Star Game. Cal Ripken Jr. with the Baltimore Orioles for the 1991 Home Run Derby. Let me get my Cal Ripken Jr. into a sleeve. All right. I'm going to put him right in front of Yordan Alvarez here. A PC hit for me. Kyle Wright with the Atlanta Braves. Max Scherzer with the Washington Nationals. 2018 All-Star Game. Kevin Ginkel with the D-backs. John Fishman, 2024. John. Rookie card. Adralis Chapman with the New York Yankees. Active Leaders card. Derek Holland with the Pittsburgh Pirates. There we go. Sam Travis with the Texas Rangers. Inaugural season card. Bryce Harper with the Nationals. 2018 Home Run Derby. I think we had one of those earlier in the Fat Pack. And then Matt Davidson with the Cincinnati Reds. All right. Jairo Diaz with the Rockies. MLB All-Star rivals Torres and Betts celebrate a victory. All right. Tuki Toussaint with the Atlanta Braves. Battery bath. Martin receives a cold bath from Bueller. Jalen Beeks with the Tampa Bay Rays. Ryan Howard, Philadelphia Phillies, 2006 Home Run Derby. I think we're getting close to our insert cards. Yep. Miguel Cabrera with the Detroit Tigers. All-Star Game in 2012. There we go. There's our other foil card, a Hunter Pence with the San Francisco Giants. Get that in a penny sleeve quick. I should have did that with the other foil card. Let me do that real quick here. this other foil card also in, and it was no rhyme or reason why they did this year, as far as sometimes being on the sly. But these are good here. So 129 and 237 for the two rainbow cards, but the Clayton Kershaw and the Hunter Pence. Okay, put those rainbows in front for now. No, I'll put it in back. Put the rainbows in the back. All right, let's continue on here. So we've got the Decade's Best Batter for the 2000, Albert Pujols with the Cardinals. Ooh, there we go. I like that one. Mike Schmidt, 85 throwback for the Philadelphia Phillies. Then we got our Turkey Red cards. And it looks like it finishes with a draft. We got Biggio, Craig Biggio with the Houston Astros. Then we got Gary Carter for the New York Mets. We got the Setsugo with the Tampa Bay Rays rookie card. Then we got the Andrew McCutchen with the Philadelphia Phillies Turkey Red card. And then the #1 prospect, Casey Mize. The #1 prospect card for Casey Mize. All right. Excuse me. MWJA, make wax junk again. Make wax junk again. All right. So there we have it. Our 2020 Topps update for a fat pack and a hanger box. So I'm almost done here with these. Hopefully I can find my last remaining 4 cards to make my last complete set I want to make for a giveaway in the not so distant future. So other than that, that was pretty good. Getting another Kyle Lewis. And then of course these cards here, I'll double check. Usually they have the short prints or things like that turned around backwards. But I always double check just to make sure I don't miss anything there. So I'm more than willing and apt to just hang out with you guys for a little bit if you want to. We did finish up a little bit early today. I don't know if there's anything you want to talk about in the chat, or I can just get ready to do my signature sign off and move on today. I do have other projects to work on. I got my first half of my Christmas cards out yesterday, and I would like to get the rest of my Christmas cards out probably tomorrow. So that means I got to get them done today, so that if I want people to try and get them by Christmas, hint, hint, they'll make it to you in time for Christmas, which is the last mail day will be next Thursday. Let's hear your opinion on thermonuclear acceleration. TNA. Let's hear your opinion on TNA. This now again. No comment on thermonuclear acceleration. Are you still there, John? I didn't chase you away, did I? Oh my word. All right, well, let me get ready for a real quickie. I'm going to turn my camera around so you could see my I'm here. Okay. I was just trying to throw you off with a little bit of a silent treatment there. Did Bibby take off? Are you still sorting there, Bibby? Are you sorting cards in the background? But let me get ready to turn the camera around real quick. All right. This has been Donald Blomdahl, Hall of Fame veteran, sports cards and collectibles. having been with you for this additional show. You're here. Okay, just wanted to make sure. I didn't know if you took off already or if you were hiding around in the background. You can probably see my reflection on my computer screen in my eyeballs here. You can see the reflection. But yes, as you can see, I'm wearing a red t-shirt. My baseball shirts are not red. I'll tell you that much. Cards in my car with our posadas here. It says we have 7 people watching. Hey, we got double digits. 10 thumbs up, thummies up, thummies up, thummies up for me. But I can't think of anything else to go over at the moment. Donald, go help the USPS so I can get my package. Well, John, I don't think I could help enough anymore. I'd probably be a hindrance to him. But let me scroll down so you can see what shirt I'm wearing. Actually, I don't know if I really want you to see me. You know what? Probably if I stand in the background here, you'd probably get a better view of my t-shirt. And I'm sure Bibby would probably get a chuckle out of it too, along with different people in the channel. There you go. You can see my little tassel on the back of my Santa cap. Yep, it is a full-fledged Santa cap, that's for sure. And I wore this for many, many years. Actually, I had this hat when I was in the Navy. Back in I'm going to date myself now, 1986. So I've had this hat for a long time. When our ship was in dry docks in California, in Long Beach, California, if anybody's familiar with Long Beach, California. But I played Santa Claus one year for the families on board the ship and stuff. So you were born in 1987. Oh my word. So I've had this Santa Claus hat as long as you've been around there, John. So that dates me now. No, but I was in the Navy. And actually it was 83 to 86. 83 to 86. Yeah. Wow. I have to search my Donald dressed as Santa at the Grateful Dead shows out in California. I don't know about that one. But here, let me turn around real quick. I'll get in the background here so you can see me a little bit better. All right. So this is me in my t-shirt that I'll be wearing till Christmas. Giving out grilled cheese sandwiches. Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas. All right. Hopefully you got a little laugh out of that one. But, so I used to do this though when I was working in the post office. I'd wear my Santa hat. My boss would actually let me wear this Santa shirt. All right, I'd wear a jacket, of course, but then when I was able to, or if it got too warm in the mail truck, I would sometimes take my jacket off and just go around. I'd have another t-shirt underneath of this one to keep me a little bit warm. You don't have to be crazy to moderate here. We will train you. All right. So, but yeah, so I'll go ahead and get ready to wrap things up for today. This has been fun. This has been real. Tomorrow we will be doing a Hall of Fame Friday along with a Fairfield Friday Fun package, along with part 4 of 12 from Bibby Bobca for Family Mail Call. I might have another Family Mail Call package. And I think what we'll probably do tomorrow is open up the other last to see who we can get for an autograph in the Seattle Children's Heroes baseball card set. So I did open the one, and we got, I think it was the basketball player? I'm trying to remember for sure. Sorry, my face was there. I was putting something in front, so when I turned the camera around. Box 3 has been started. Box 3. Oh no, this was part 3, which was part 2 on the numbers, because the first part didn't have a number on it. So it's 12 parts. I know on your sheet here, which I have, I know you have these. See, I've did it this way. So that was part 1, part 2, part 3. Tomorrow will be part 4, which will be 3A and 3B. So I've got them all listed here. So on the 12th day, we will open up A, B, and C. Uh-oh, did I do the C? Maybe that was the C that I did the yesterday. I didn't even notice that it had a C. I don't know what that C is right there. A, B, and C. I just saw that one. I'll have to see if I have 11A, B, and C. I think I got an A and a B. I bet you that C was supposed to be the one maybe you didn't label. I don't know for sure. Oh, box 3. Oh, never mind. I see what you're saying. Box 3 has been started. Now I got it. I was reading the whole chat wrong. But there, let me turn this back around. So we'll open, most likely we'll open this up also. May have been. We'll find out. If so, we just have a 11A and 11B. I'll double check. Maybe I do have a C, but I don't think I do. So yeah. So we'll have a Fairfield Friday fun tomorrow, and a Seattle Heroes tomorrow. So we'll have this fun, Bibby's fun. We'll have our Hall of Fame biography, which will be tomorrow, will be Adrian C. or Cap Anson. Adrian Cap Anson will be our biography for tomorrow. So until then, you all take care. Have a wonderful and blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning on our Hall of Fame Friday biography and Fairfield Friday fun video. So take care. We'll see y'all tomorrow, and have a wonderful and blessed day. Okay? Bye for now.